Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Thursday, July the 25th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Before I get into the video here, I have a couple announcements to make. First announcement is next month, August the 10th, we're going to be hosting our Active Intraday Traders course at our Miami office down here in Coral Gables. If you're interested in finding out more details on that course, you can contact me at ccooper at wallstreettrading.com. If you are not in the Miami area and you want to fly in, give me a shout. I can see if I can find you a nice little spot down here to stay. Remember, it is summer trading, so things are kind of slow. So if you're interested in expanding your education and your toolbox with some of the strategies and skills that we use, you can take the course. It's summertime. Things are kind of slow right now. Now's the best time to do it. Aside from that, let's go ahead and talk about the markets today. The Dow Jones closed up 13 points. The Nasdaq closed up a little over 25 and a half points. The S&P 500 closed up a little over 4.25 here. We take a look at the breadth on the market. We had 3,993 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. We had 2,147 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. Therefore, breadth was in favor to the bulls. As you guys know, yesterday was in favor of the bears, pretty much close to a 4-1 or 3-1, I believe it was. Now, the bulls came back with a fight, and we're going to have to break down these charts to see where we stand. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the chart, starting off with the SPY. SPY closed at 168.93, closing up 41 cents, up 0.25%. As you guys know, we talked about this 168 level being a key level to watch. All right, so we're going to see if we're going to try to establish a range between this 170 and 168, or if they want to knock us down a bit to this 167 level, which looks like a better level of support, which also lines up with this rising 20-day moving average, which will look pretty nice if price was to come down there and it was to catch that moving average, was to catch a price and was to just continue rising up. Let's not forget, we are still in a bull market. The price action is still to the top side. Really can't get bearish on the market, I would say, until we start breaking and holding below this 166 level or holding below these 20-day moving averages. All right, if you take a look at the ES, just look what the ES did today, guys. We sold off. They sold us down all the way to 172 overnight, and then from overnight lows of 172, we rallied the whole day. We did have a little pullback action around 11 o'clock, but then buyers came back in around 11:30 and rally the market up the whole day, guys. So bulls are definitely still in control. The dip buyers are definitely still in control. So we want to make sure we're looking for those right setups that you should be looking for in this type of environment. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the ES now, since I can show you guys that chart real quick here on the ES. We definitely had some nice volume throughout the day. As you guys know, yesterday volume dropped off around 10:30 or so. Today volume stayed pretty strong throughout the day. And it looks like we're pretty much going to be trading in a range here between this 170 area and this 1695 area until we establish or get some type of catalyst to give us a reason to see some higher prices. Right now, earnings reports are coming out pretty good from these companies, so that definitely could lift the markets up a bit there. As we have more earnings reports coming out, we'll see how that reacts. But everything's looking pretty good, guys. You just want to stick with the trend and continue to buy the dips on those strong stocks and continue to buy the dips on the market. If we take a look at the triple Qs, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, we closed up 47 cents, a little over 0.5%. You can see we're trying to get back above that 75 level. If we break it back above 75 and hold, you see we have a gap fill that could take us all the way up to this 75.37. We break over 75.37. We could make a nice move up towards 75 back up towards those highs. All right, what else? IWM, the Russell 2000, showed some nice relative strength to the other indices today. You can see it was up close to 1%, closing up 95 cents. This 103 level, I believe, is the level you want to work off of a reference level for as far as support, short-term support. You can see we recaptured those key short-term moving averages. Next target looks to be back up towards the highs of this 105. We break over 105. There's no resistance above us, so we'll be looking intraday to see what levels form as resistance. But aside from that, the Russell 2000 is looking good again, as it was able to recapture most of its losses from yesterday. The dollar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar, the VIX, and the euro. See what that action is looking like here. The dollar. Whoa. We talked about the dollar getting some selling pressure this week. So far, that's playing out to the T. If you have not watched our weekend review video where we highlighted this information before this week started, go to YouTube and type in My Wall Street TV to look at that analysis. We mentioned the fact that the dollar was trading in this nice little megaphone pattern, which is a bearish pattern and usually a volatile pattern, as you're going to get this back and forth action near the top of the ranges here, top of the resistance and the bottom of the support. So the dollar should keep on declining here, and we should hit this target down here around 80. What does that mean? Well, that means that anything that benefits when the dollar goes down is going to go up, such as the commodity space, the gold, the precious metals are going to at least have some nice bid underneath them. Crude oil. That also means that the euro is going to go up. Okay. That also means some of these companies that do business, a lot of business overseas. All right. Some of these companies that do a lot of business overseas, they should get some sales going on, get an increase in sales as these products cost cheaper to buy now, as these overseas companies will probably buy some of these American companies' products because it's at a discount because the dollar's going down. So, I mean, other things could happen, of course, but those are just some little ideas you could look at. Caterpillar, some of these industrial companies, they usually go up when they have a weak dollar, as their demand for their equipment goes up. But aside from that, euro strong. We talked about it getting back above that 132 level and holding a nice base. If it holds above 132, you want to look for a move up towards this 134 level. Again, we don't trade currencies, but we do track them to see how the different asset classes trade around the price action. And right now, the dollar's going down. Commodities are catching a bid. Market's looking good. Euro's going up. And the market's still pretty bullish. Let's take a look at that volatility index, the VIX. All right, the VIX sold off after gaining some, after making some nice gains yesterday. Got rejected right at that 1350 level. If we can't break over the 1350 level, excuse me, we'll be looking for a move back down towards 12. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some stocks now. I'm not going to go over the commodities today because we have a lot of things to cover. I will go over the commodities in the weekend review video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with Apple. Want to see how Apple closed the session today. All right, and Apple, pretty much a flat day. All right, we did have a couple key companies report earnings after the bell, and we'll take a look at those names, such as Amazon, Starbucks, CLF, GILD. We'll run through those names as well here, but Apple holding above the low that it made yesterday from the gap up in the earnings report. All right, as long as we can hold above 435, this thing should hold a nice bid and try to make a move back up towards these 450s or so. If we break below 435, look for Apple to try to fill its gap, which is all the way down here around 426. And if it does try to fill the gap, it may not. It's obviously, it's not going to happen in one day. It probably will just dribble down there and then see what happens down there. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Amazon, they had earnings after the bell today. The stock closed at 303, and after hours, the stock is trading at 297. Not really doing much. All right, they didn't really surprise. I believe they missed their revenue. I'm not sure. I have to look over the numbers, but either way, Amazon, is really not doing anything. It did flash down to 286, did trade 294, but now it's trading 297. Still trading above the previous, still trading above today's lows, but not really no excitement there in this number. It did not pull a Starbucks move. As you guys know, Starbucks was up a lot today. I mean, not Starbucks. I mean Facebook. Sorry. So Amazon, we'll see how this one opens up tomorrow. I would say as long as it can hold above this 295, this rising 20-day moving average, it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at Starbucks. Starbucks had earnings after the close today as well. Stock closed at 68.17, and it is now trading, whoa, 72. A lot of action there in that stock, guys. This stock's definitely going to be in play tomorrow. We'll be watching this name. And to see how we trade it, you have to go to mywallstreettv.com and log into our chat room. To get the credentials to log into our chat room, you have to go to our home page and fill out the form on the right-hand side, wallstreettrading.com, folks. But Starbucks looks pretty good. We'll be trading this one tomorrow. Keep this one on your radar. CLF, they had earnings after the close as well today. And let's see here. The stock closed at 1838, and it is now trading at 1910. As you guys know, these stocks have been getting beaten up, taken to the woodshed. They're trying to catch a bid now. Hopefully, if CLF can catch a bid, some of the other basic material stocks like US Steel, AKS, NUE, FCX, maybe some of these stocks will have a little bit more of a bid underneath their names, and they can start making a move to the top side. Same thing for the coal stocks. Uh, GILD stock had earnings after the close today. Stock closed at 60.86, and after hours, it is trading at 64.26, making all-time highs, guys. Stock's going to be in play tomorrow. Keep it on your radar. All right, so where did we see some good action today? Well, another biotech stock that traded pretty well today. Amgen has a nice little breakout. If it could break above this 109.70 area, or call it just 110, if it could break and hold above 110, that stock looks pretty good. There's some action in some of the biotech names. Natural gas stocks took off today. Make sure you keep those on your radar. SWN. We saw natural gas trading pretty strong this morning before the market opened, so we actually told the traders in the trading room to watch these natural gas stocks, and they did pretty well. SWN has a nice look, should have a nice continuation. This is definitely a nice bullish candle. Has a nice trigger over 39.65. Let's see, CHK, another natural gas stock that has a breakout over 23. All right, we'll be breaking out this little double top right here. All right, and a break and hold above 23 will look pretty good. But the next trigger for the long is going to be right over this 22.75 area, which should then take it to 23, and then at 23, we'll see what happens. COG, they came out with earnings. The stock was one of the stronger names out there. If you guys recall, I told you guys to watch this natural gas name when I was going over the energy stocks because it had a nice little tight range. Had a nice little shakeout right here. That's a nice little bear trap, and now it's above the 74, making all-time highs. I would say if it could, as long as it can hold today's lows, this stock should continue moving higher as people are looking to get into some of these natural resource stocks and natural gas stocks. This name looks pretty good. Again, may do some back and fill action, but keep this one on your radar going forward. All right, VLO, some more energy stocks here that I want to go over with you guys. VLO looks pretty good. As you can see, it's been having trouble trying to break past 36. So if it can get over 36 and buyers come in the name, this thing can definitely make a nice move. We do have some overhead resistance from the moving averages, but at the same time, if I zoom in the chart here, the stock has a gap fill right here around the 37.50 area and looks pretty good if it could get over this 36. So holding above 36, you want to have a bullish bias in the stock at least to the next resistance level around 37, 37.50. All right, and if you're looking at that, you can also take a look at TSO. All right, CRM, this chart looks pretty good to me. I like it. It's been holding a nice bid for the past for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sessions or so above this 42 level. Nice close today. After trapping some people that were probably expecting to get short today, this stock will have a breakout over today's, or to say over yesterday's highs. You want to keep an eye on this stock here. It looks pretty good. Let's see here. TXN, Texas Instruments. Semiconductor stocks are trading pretty well. You can see this right here looking pretty good. As long as it continues to hold this gap up from what, Tuesday, from the earnings above 38.50, you want to get long this name as it should make its way back up towards those highs around 39.75. Qualcomm did pretty well today as well. We traded this name um, pretty good actually. We traded this name right out the gate in the morning. It was a trap setup. Look at this bar, guys. Anybody that was short this name yesterday, that were expecting it to get that, well, they were expecting to get some follow through. They pretty much got trapped, and therefore once it got up, they were forced to cover, which gave us a nice 1-2 setup, pretty much buying over the 1 minute bar high. Formed a nice little candlestick, a nice little spinning candlestick, or even kind of close to a hammer. We measured our risk. We got long over the name. I'm sorry, over the high. Had about 20 cents risk, and we were able to dish this out as it moved higher. If you want to see that trade, how we traded it, go to our Facebook page, Wall Street Trading on Facebook, and I posted the chart of how I traded it and how I walked the traders through in the room to trade it. That one worked out pretty well. You don't get to see those plays that often. Well, at least I don't find them that often. But when I do, I know how to trade them. Can't end this video without talking about Facebook. Facebook, what a monster move today. Looks like it should continue to go higher. The next resistance level on the stock is around 36.60. You have to go to your weekly chart to get that level. Also has a gap fill between 36.60 and 38.20 is a gap up. If I move over the weekly chart here real quick, you can see this weekly and the monthly. That's the weekly right there. It has a nice little gap. All right, so we'll be keeping a close eye on this name. This name should have some more momentum in it. May need to consolidate, but definitely the stock looks like it's going higher. Massive volume. All right. See the banks. Bank of America up close to 1%. Wells Fargo down 1.5%. Let's take a look at Wells Fargo. WFC 43.50 looks like it held its support. We do have a rising moving average. It's sitting right on. It's coming close into a trend line, key trend line support here. So be on the lookout for tomorrow. If the financials are weak tomorrow, be on the lookout for the stock to see if it tries to do a little flash break below that 43 level, that move, those key 20-day moving averages there, and then tries to get bottom perform like a little reversal candlestick. We'll see. We'll be definitely keeping a close eye on this stock tomorrow and some of the other banks out there. Let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs still hanging in there. Still looks pretty good. Triggers along, or triggers a breakout over 168.26, or better yet, this high right here, 167.47, for a move to that level, then possibly higher. Bank of America, the last bank I'm going to go over here, BAC, closed up close to 1%. Same thing here, still looking pretty good as it respected its rising 8 EMA and 5 EMA, and getting back above the 5 EMA. Aside from that, folks, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry if I rushed through the video. I know I talk a little bit fast sometimes, so bear with me. But either way, the information, the analysis is spot on, pretty accurate stuff. And if you want to see how we trade it on an intraday basis, you want to make your way to our chat room, mywallstreettv.com. Have a great night, folks. Cheers.